Hey guys, real quick, we're doing brake job. So we're doing pads and rotors on this 2012 Fiat 500. This is my wife's car, and so it's 5 years old now, and it has 152,000 kilometers on it. We drive quite a bit. It's original set of brakes, and just wanted to give you a little bit of a how-to guide. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the internet that gives you information for European cars. It's not all accurate for what we're trying to do here. So this was the rotor on the rear. It looks identical on both sides actually. So there's a real buildup of corrosion here. I was making a whole bunch of noise. I went in and got it looked at, and they said to put new ones on, and then they told me how much they wanted for them to do it, and I decided to do it myself. So that's long story short there. Quick rundown of tools to have. You're going to want a few things. They're lug bolts, not lug nuts, but they're 17 millimeters. That's easy. And then holding on the rotors, there's these locator dowels. Those are 12 millimeters. You want to use a longer socket for that, just because they're kind of tall. The back of the sliders on these have a 13 millimeter, and then it's a 13 millimeter that holds on the caliper bracket as well. You're going to need wrenches for that one, and you probably want to double up your wrenches for extra leverage. If you're doing it on the ground like me, there's not a ton of room, but it's really not that bad. They've got pretty big wheel wells, so you'll be okay. Aside from that, it's really not terribly difficult. The only thing that you need to know is compressing the rear caliper. Sorry, I got no light here. They're twist caliper pistons here, so you have to crank them back in. So from this perspective, you want to rotate them clockwise and push in at the same time. Now there are special tools that you can use for that. I have a C-clamp. And I rotate them just using some needle nose pliers. It's doable. I already did the other side. It's 100% doable. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but just something to be, I suppose, sort of aware of. I ordered all my parts through a friend that works at the local Dodge store, so I'm using all genuine Mopar products. I don't have to worry about shipping or anything like that. I live in a rural community, so getting aftermarket parts for certain vehicles can be a pain in the ass, but anything domestic that's fairly recent model years, no problem. So here's the new rear disc brake for this, or the rotor, and they're not vented. This is not a big car to have to stop, so it doesn't have to have a whole bunch of cooling or anything crazy like that. But it's pretty easy to deal with. I'm just going to try and prop the camera up here. Now that I have the camera propped up, getting this on here is super easy. Toss it on, do whatever cleaning you want to do. You can just use these locator dowels, just rotate it to the appropriate spot, and just twist them in. The torque spec on this, I have no idea what it is, but they're not on there tight at all. So, and they're just for location, really. I do find if you toss one of these in, it helps line it up a little bit better, though. And that can make your job just a smidge easier. No point in working too hard there. So that's that. We're going to continue putting that back together. It's going to look pretty easy when we're done. I'm doing the front ones as well. They weren't all corroded like these guys are, but they are, being the front brakes at 150,000 kilometers, they're pretty worn down. I haven't done this side yet. Again, no light. You can see that they're used. But I did this far side already. I got it parked up nice and close, so because I'm already done that side. But that's, the front brakes are super easy. I probably could have had these turned, but I got the parts at a pretty good discount, so I wasn't too worried about it. But in the front, you don't have to worry about rotating the piston at all. You can just compress it I just pushed it back in. I let a little bit of the brake fluid out just to remove some resistance. You want to be careful about that. Brake fluid is an anaerobic material and you want to keep air out of it and blah, 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 but there's lots of things you can Google that way. I just wanted to put up something more specific for the Fiat 500. So you got your list of tools you need for the rear brakes. For the front brakes, it's a little bit different. You need a 7mm Allen tool, whether it's a socket or whatever, I don't care, but for your caliper slides, and you can pull those right out. Mine were really clean still, so I just re-greased them. There was there's a different size for the caliper bracket for the sockets as well, and it's pretty big. Like I want to say it was like another 17mm, but honestly I don't remember. So this mess will have you sorted out. The bleeder valve in the brakes in the rear are 10mm. There's 7mm in the front. So that's kind of, I don't know, I think that's weird, but I haven't done a ton of brake jobs. But one thing to take away from that, because the caliper slides are the 7mm Allen wrench. That'll fit right into your 7mm socket. So what I did, which I thought was kind of cool because there's really piss poor leverage in there, I just grabbed an Allan Key tool and my 7mm socket, and you can link these up and create a little bit baby snipe for yourself, and that made my job a lot easier. So with that being said, I'm going to put it back together and I'll show you the finished product, and that's about it. Thanks for watching my video. Alright, so brakes are all on. After only small headaches, we did pretty good. First side was a learning process, second side took me like half an hour. So, all good. The caliper bracket bolt that I said was 17mm in the front is actually 19. Aside from that, everything's tickety-boo, so my wife can stop and has a car that functions properly now. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching.